The sink had screws in each corner that were not stainless or were lower quality stainless, and those had rusted and broken off, so I had to break those. The rest of this looks to be stainless and is in poor but maybe salvageable condition. I can get the... There we go. So, pretty straightforward. You can see where this hardware is just totally rusted out. So we'll either have to replace this or clean it up and then figure out a different way to bed it in there that doesn't involve those fasteners. The drain in the sink is one of the few through holes in the boat, and it's above the water line, but only just barely. So if you keel over, it is going to be below the water. And this tube, this hose here, which looks like it's just bilge hose, is very much shot. You can see the hole in it right there. So we'll be replacing that. To get to that, this is a shell, an insert. So to get to that, I'm gonna have to crawl back into the cockpit locker back there and try and see if I can get up under here to get access to that. This electrical panel and fan are built into the wall, and there's a bit of a recess right here. And I don't really relish the thought of getting in there to do anything with them, but the fan is absolutely totally shot, and this electrical panel is right behind it. I tried to flip one of the switches earlier, and the whole switch came off in my hand. So that's going to have to come out and be repaired or probably replaced. I do need to go make sure that the battery is disconnected first, though. The electrical in here is a hot mess. There's what looks to be a pretty new battery charger with shore power. There's an old fuse block here that looks like it's got one active fuse in it still. Nothing else attached to it. There's a whole mess of cables down here. And as I was, another terminal block over there, probably for ground, and as I was digging around in here, way back there on the ground in the bilge, there's a switch for the bilge pump. No idea if that's active or attached to anything. There's also over here, not attached to anything, some old cables that look like there used to be an electric motor, trolling motor or something. If this will come this way, then this is the wrong tool for this job. Oh, no, I got it. Okay, so we're just gonna take these off then. I was prepared to cut all those wires because I'm feeling more expeditious than anything else at the moment, but if these just unscrew, that's probably the better way to do this anyway. So we'll just pull all those off. And as long as we've pulled all of the ones off one terminal, the battery is no longer electrically connected to the boat, and we won't have to worry about arcing things. Alright, so now that we've disconnected the battery, I don't need to be worried about shorting out any of these contacts or what I'm going to find behind this wall over here. So we can go ahead and pull out the rest of this electrical, if it'll come. Let's see. This fan especially looks very original to the boat and very, very rusty and corroded. One way to do that. The screw is seized to the plastic, which is new and different. But it's just, there we go. That is a thing right there. This is a model 3A00027 fan from the Arine Fan Company. There you go, FP105. Still spins. A little bit of grease, a little bit of elbow grease, you could fix that right up, right? Nope. All right. This fuse panel is liable to have quite a few cables coming off the backside of it, wires coming off the backside of it. Whatever labels these had on them have since come off, so I have no idea what goes to what in here. I haven't checked, but I assume this boat has running lights on it. It should, but not all boats do. Usually a boat this big would. Also had a radio and a bilge pump, but like I said, the electrical on this boat has been poorly rewired at least twice from the look of it. What have we got? Okay. It's moderately terrifying. Okay, so these were actually labeled at some point. More or less legibly. Mostly less. So that one says battery, or BATT. That says 12 volts plus. That one, it's upside down in this picture, but it says masthead, so this is probably some sort of light up there. The rest of these don't seem to have labels, and this one I can't make out. Forward something. So we'll have to pull this out and figure out where those go and deal with it. If I'm lucky, then it's a pretty straight run down into the battery compartment up there, and I'll be able to just, into the cockpit locker, which is where the battery is, and I'll be able to just run new wires up into there to get to them. While we're here, I'm going to see if I can get this light out as well, because it is also no longer serviceable. They really went in for these inline splices, and I've never seen these before. It looks like they probably don't have to strip the wires. They just pop the two in there and then crimp them together, force it closed, and it probably got some little spiky things that go in there to grab onto them. But they've used them to branch out and then to splice in the light, which seems a little sloppy, but I guess it's better than wire nuts. I don't want to cut off more of this prematurely until I'm absolutely certain where all this stuff's going and what it's doing, because the more the puzzle you take apart, the more difficult it is to figure out where it went originally if you don't know. There's one more light up in the V-berth. This one feels like it might actually operate if there was power applied to it, but oops. These two lights are very much dead. Even if they were operational, it would be a travesty to leave these. So I'm going to look around and see what I can find to replace them that's about the same footprint. I don't really care if it's LED or not, but we'll see if there's something economical that's LED out there. Do you want to help take the radio out?
What radio?
It's radio.
Yes.
Alright. I'm not entirely sure what's even holding the radio in, to be honest. Oh, there's a little thumb screw over here.
Yeah.
Ow. There's a little thumb screw that is... Are you kidding me?
What?
Oh.
What's the problem, guys?
So there's no way that I'm going to be able to get the camera in there to see this, but they've... whoever installed this radio used one of the through bolts from a piece of deck hardware, which I can actually see from here is one of the lifeline stanchions is also holding up the underside of the radio, which I guess keeps you from having as many through holes in the deck, but since I can't get to the thumb screw on this radio either, it's going to make getting this radio out
I'm going to look.
really entertaining. You're going to look? Okay. You see that bolt right there?
Yeah.
And that goes through the deck up to the lifeline above us, which makes getting this out a little entertaining. So this is the radio bracket, which from the look of the radio and the feel of it hasn't worked in many, many years. You can see up under there, that bolt that it's going to is actually one of the lifeline stanchions. And there is a thumb screw on the edge of this radio, on this bracket right there.
Yeah.
You can't really see it, but it's right there. But I can't get my fingers in there to get it. And I don't have a pair of pliers that'll get on there, so next time I go down, I'll try and bring a pair of channel locks or something up here to try and rip that radio out. You want to say hello to the world on the radio? No? Alright.
How do you get this out?
Well, the button on this is broken anyway, so you wouldn't be able to say anything even if you wanted to. This is the cooler that's built into the boat. We pulled the lid out a while ago, and we've got that down in the shop to work on refinishing it. I just pulled the sink out, pulled the faucet out a while ago as well. You can see how dirty this is. So Finn and I are going to work on cleaning this up off camera for a few minutes. So this is before.
And then I'll show you after. Oh, entertaining, guys.
And after. There's a little bit of staining in the bottom from the rusting bolt on the underside of the sink that's probably never going to clean up. So I wouldn't recommend using the ice in here for your margaritas, but it'll definitely keep your soft drinks cold. I pulled the drain plug out of the bottom. It's supposed to have a plug in it. It was just the body left. I've got another one in the house, so we can replace that. That'll let you keep a little bit of water in the bottom of this to help keep things cold. So that's pretty clean. Come back up here a little later with a razor blade, get this sealant off from around where the sink was, clean the sink up, and maybe start putting some stuff back in here pretty soon. This Barkeeper's Friend stuff is amazing for absolutely anything that's stainless. I use it in the kitchen all the time. Any pan that's really got burnt stuff on it, anything like that, it'll clean up really, really well. Well, it's by no means good as new, but I think it's certainly good enough. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, leave a like, a comment, or subscribe to the channel. Thanks.